stop. Just fucking stop. Enough of this shit. Just fucking stop, man.
Mungkin ramai dah dengar pasal peristiwa hitam yang berlaku kat salah satu masjid di San Diego, Amerika Syarikat. Kejadian tembakan kat masjid tu bukan sekadar berita jenayah biasa. Insiden tu buat ramai orang mula persoalkan macam mana sebuah negara besar boleh terus alami tragedi macam ni hampir setiap tahun. Isu senjata api kat Amerika memang dah lama jadi polemik besar. Dekat banyak negara lain, pemilikan senjata dikawal ketat demi keselamatan rakyat. Tapi dekat Amerika, kebebasan memiliki senjata dianggap hak individu yang sangat dijunjung tinggi.
I just saw the horrible news about the shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. And I just want to say, this is not normal. We deserve a society where Muslim Americans feel safe. We deserve a society where children can go to school without fearing of being shot. We deserve a society where all religious minorities can worship in safety. The reason we don't have that society is because we have politicians who are corrupted by the gun lobby and who stoke fear against minorities for their personal benefit. May the memory of the people who are affected by this be a light that guides us towards a better society.
Another day, another shooting, another influx of people screaming, "It's a mental health problem," on the internet. Now, I'm not going to get into all the complexities of gun violence in the United States, as there is an abundance of research examining the multitude of factors related to gun violence in the United States. However, when focusing on the mental health problem in the US, let's remember that in 2025 alone, federal funding for Medicaid was cut by 15%, which equates to $1 trillion over 10 years, impacting behavioral health services. Over $1 billion in school mental health grants were canceled, forcing districts to cut staff and services. SAMHSA funding was revoked and grants were rescinded. And approximately $11.4 billion in COVID-related mental health and addiction funds were canceled. I am a psychologist. I am not denying that we have a mental health crisis in the US, but you can't scream it's a mental health problem while simultaneously supporting politicians and policies that cut funding and programs that help address mental health.
Selama ni ramai orang Malaysia anggap Amerika tu negara impian. Kemajuan ada kat sana, teknologi canggih ada kat sana, gaji tinggi pun ada kat sana. Tapi lepas tengok semua kejadian macam ni, masih ke kita nak anggap Amerika sebagai negara impian? Peristiwa tu tunjuk realiti pahit tentang sebuah negara yang terlalu bebas dan makin jauh dari nilai agama. Kebebasan dijunjung terlalu tinggi sampai ramai orang sanggup buat benda di luar batas. Kalau nak dibandingkan dengan negara kita, memang jauh sangat bezanya. Dekat negara kita, nilai kemanusiaan, kekeluargaan dan agama masih kuat dijaga. Sebab tu keadaan sosial di sini lebih stabil dan dari segi keselamatan pun memang jelas negara kita jauh lebih selamat berbanding Amerika. Dekat media sosial pun, ramai Minah Salleh kongsi pengalaman lepas tinggal di Malaysia. Mereka mengaku terkejut tengok suasana hidup di sini yang jauh berbeza daripada negara barat. Perkara pertama yang paling selalu mereka sebut mestilah soal rasa selamat.
So I've had a lot of women reach out to me and ask if I feel safe as a female living in KL. So let's talk about it as we get ready together. Just before I moved here, I did see a lot of videos around women saying that don't come to KL, basically left because they didn't feel safe. Now, let's just say I am not walking about on my own really late in the evening. I think the latest I am out and about is probably 8-9 o'clock. So I'm also not walking down any alleys, any dodgy streets. I'm keeping everything quite public. I have not once since moved here felt unsafe. I think, you know, any big city you go to, anywhere you go to, there's going to be areas that aren't as safe as others. I've got nothing negative to say about KL, I absolutely love it. So if you are thinking of coming and you're a female, I really do recommend you do come and give it a go, because everywhere has got their good and bad bits, and I've seen loads of women out walking on their own, which always makes me feel a little bit better too. And if you haven't seen my other video, I literally walk everywhere. I have hardly taken public transport or Grabs unless absolutely necessary. I just don't go down like a shortcut route like a dark alley. I just keep to the main roads, keep to the busy streets.
Here are my thoughts on safety in Malaysia. As a whole, I would say Southeast Asia is probably the place I felt the safest traveling as a solo female traveler. I don't want to invalidate anyone else's experience if they felt unsafe while traveling in Malaysia, but I personally have never had an experience that made me feel unsafe. This is my second time to Malaysia, and the first time I spent like 2.5 months here. My experience is that everyone that I've met that's from here has been so incredibly helpful and kind and just absolutely amazing people. This is actually one of my favorite countries in the world because of how amazing the people are. Of course, when you're in a new culture, especially if you're a woman traveling alone, there are precautions that you have to take to make sure that you feel safe and comfortable, and overall you just do need to take care of yourself. There are bad people everywhere.
Bagi orang barat yang dah biasa dengar bunyi siren polis, berita jenayah ataupun risau pasal kes tembakan, suasana macam ni memang buat mereka terkejut. Salah satu benda yang paling selalu dipuji oleh orang luar tentang Malaysia ialah macam mana nilai agama masih jadi sebahagian penting dalam kehidupan masyarakat. Walaupun Malaysia ada pelbagai kaum dan agama, kehidupan sosial di sini masih penuh dengan rasa hormat, sopan santun dan nilai kekeluargaan. Ramai percaya, inilah yang buat suasana hidup di Malaysia terasa lebih aman dan selesa.